Sheffield is a city in South Yorkshire whose name derives from the River Sheaf, which runs through it. The city serves as the administrative centre of the city of Sheffield. It is historically part of the West Riding region of Yorkshire. The city lies in the eastern foothills of the Pennines and the valleys of the River Don, with its 4 tributaries.
Hello, I'm John and welcome to John's Box, my YouTube channel, and to another edition of 10 largest English cities, their pros and cons. This is the 7th of 10 editions, and so far we've had the cities of Wakefield, Leicester, Bristol, Liverpool, Manchester, and most recently Bradford. That was a few weeks ago, and today it's the turn of the city of Sheffield, with a population above 550,000 and has had city status since 1893. So before we go on, I'd like to announce that since yesterday I am an official YouTube partner. That means that I have qualified for revenue because of the fact that my channel has over 500 subscribers and over 3,000 hours of viewing over a 365-day period. So that's the good news. My channel is growing, and that is the first big step to becoming a huge YouTuber. Yeah. And by the way, don't forget to support my channel as well. I'm always grateful for every subscriber, even for every comment, for every like, even dislike. This is a free platform. You can say what you want, as long as it's not... Well, you can say what you want, actually. Okay, city of Sheffield. Maybe you lived there, maybe you worked there, maybe you've been there. It has various opinions about it. It's a student city. I'll just take off my glasses, actually. Yep. So yeah, it's a student city. What else? 2 football clubs, or even 3, actually, or more. But 2 professional football clubs as well. There's lots going for it. Of course, there's the downside, as we'll discover. First of all, we'll look at the advantages of the city, and then the disadvantages, some fun facts, and then there'll be some old film footage. So sit back and relax and enjoy.
Sheffield played a crucial role in the Industrial Revolution, with many significant inventions and technologies having developed in the city. In the 19th century, the city saw a huge expansion of its traditional cutlery trade when stainless steel and crucible steel were developed locally, fueling an almost 10-fold increase in the population. Sheffield received its municipal charter in 1843, becoming the City of Sheffield in 1893. Nowadays, Sheffield is changing rapidly as new projects regenerate some of the more run-down parts of the city. One such, the Heart of the City project, has initiated a number of public works in the city centre. With a population of over 550,000 people, it is the 2nd largest city in the Yorkshire and Humber region. So, what is the good and the bad side of the city when it comes to living, touring, or just shopping and other aspects? Let's look at some positives first of all. History. Here's one for the history books. Sheffield has lots of interesting heritage sites which are well worth a visit. Attractions range from the Sheffield Cathedral and Manor Lodge to the National Emergency Services Museum and Western Park Museum, which features a pair of Sheffield native Michael Palin's pants. Ooh, saucy. Nature. 61% of Sheffield's entire area is green space, and a third of the city lies within the Peak District National Park. There are more than 250 parks, woodlands and gardens in the city, which is estimated to contain around 4.5 million trees. I wonder who counted them. In May 2022, Sheffield was named the Tree City of the World in recognition of its work to sustainably manage and maintain urban forests and trees. This honour was given before the release of the Independent Inquiry's report on the so-called Sheffield Chainsaw Massacre, where thousands of trees were unnecessarily felled. But that's another story. The locals are so friendly, they say. So that's why they call it a village the size of a city. Sheffield may be a city, but people who live here often describe it as a village because of how friendly everyone is and the true community feel. No matter whether you're born and bred in Sheffield or fresh off the train or coach, everyone is welcome, they say. Music. It's musical pedigree. Arctic Monkeys, Self-Esteem, Pulp, The Human League, Reverend, and The Makers, Richard Hawley, and Bring Me the Horizon. You won't find many cities with a better musical pedigree than Sheffield. If you're looking for places to watch live music, the Leadmill has hosted some of the biggest names in music. You could also bag yourself a tramlines ticket, but hurry, they sell out quickly. Finally, there's something for everyone. Sheffield is a vibrant city, and there's something for everyone. Kelham Island was named as one of the coolest neighbourhoods in the world, and 5th coolest in the UK by Time Out magazine. Sheffield International Documentary Festival attracts filmmakers from around the world, and at the Sheffield Food Festival you can taste the culinary delights this city has to offer. There's also the Sheffield Adventure Film Festival, SHAF, which shows some amazing films from all over the world. So much for the positives. Now let's look at the negatives. It's hilly. Yes, Sheffield was built on hillside, so there's no denying that it's a very hilly city. Some parts are nestled within those hills, while others sit high on their peaks. The lowest point of the city is based just 27 metres above sea level, but many others rise to over 500 metres above sea level. Wow! This is a massive disparity in terrain, and is very much noticeable as soon as you set foot on Sheffield soil. Because of this difference in altitude, the temperatures can differ greatly from area to area. As you can imagine, it can be very windy in parts. The hilly nature of Sheffield may not be everyone's cup of tea. If you'll be without a car and instead opt to walk or cycle, the journeys around the city can be challenging. Less physically able individuals or those with small children may not be suited to certain parts of Sheffield because of this. They'd need to be careful when choosing an area to live in if they'd prefer to avoid going up and down hills every day. The city centre could be better, come on. On the retail front, Sheffield city centre is often said to be way behind its neighbours Leeds and Manchester, despite being a bigger city. People often feel that there aren't enough independent shops and top high street brands. Many residents were particularly sad to see the John Lewis department store permanently close in 2021, with the retailer claiming it was an unsustainable location following pandemic lockdowns. Fortunately, Sheffield City Council has already got the ball rolling on bold regeneration plans. With Phase 1 already completed, Heart of the City 2 is set to be unveiled. Inequality. Historically, Sheffield has been called a city with two halves. One half was full of leafy suburbs, while the other was polluted by strips of factories. The slow transition to a new economy following deindustrialisation caused mass unemployment, social issues and migration out of the city, and seemed to only further divide the city. A 2009 report by the University of Sheffield Social and Spatial Inequalities Research Group entitled A Tale of Two Cities, the Sheffield Project, found that inequality had increased in Sheffield since the late 1960s. After analysing data from the NHS, ONS, Sheffield City Council and other sources, they highlighted a massive disparity between affluent and disadvantaged areas in Sheffield in terms of life expectancy, education and income levels. But all cities have a socio-economic dividing line to some extent, so Sheffield is not alone in this regard. But even in the 2020s, the city still faces some problems with deprivation and inequality. And now for some Sheffield fun facts. The oldest football stadium in the world resides in Sheffield. Sandygate in Bramall Lane, which is home to Hallam FC and Hallam CC, opened its doors in 1804, gaining the title in the Guinness Book of Records as the oldest football ground in the world. Incidentally, the rich history of football in Sheffield has ensured that there's a thriving following for the game there, whether you're a Sheffield United or Sheffield Wednesday fan. Sheffield has broken an interesting world record. It held the record for the longest lasting rainbow, which was 6 hours in 1997. However, this record was broken by another in Taipei, Taiwan, that lasted for 9 hours. Sheffield started a trend where people would look at a rainbow and see how long it lasted. The frontman of the Arctic Monkeys comes from Sheffield. Alex Turner, the lead vocalist and songwriter, actually grew up in Sheffield. He's been seen sporting many clothing items which reference the famous graffiti found in Sheffield, and is said to go back and visit the area once in a while, such as in 2016, to write the 6th record for his band. And now, time for some old film footage.
So there you have it. There you have it. I hope you've enjoyed that, and I welcome you to comment, particularly if you live in the city, work there, or if you know the city well, if you study there as well. I do welcome your comments. Like or dislike this video. Tell me what you think. And we're left with 2 more cities actually. Part 8 will be Leeds. Actually 3 more cities. Part 9 will be Birmingham. And the last part will be London City. London City, not Greater London. Greater London is not a city, actually. Westminster is a city. Okay, enough of that. Thank you very much for sticking by. I do appreciate it. Once again, I urge you to support my channel if you like this kind of content. I am now once again an official YouTube partner. I'm proud of that fact. See you again in another video on my channel with all sorts of content. Check it out. Bye for now. Bye.